that are sunny. Looking back, it was all needed. The problems, the pain, the trauma, the grieving. You are now tuned in to the prisoner to painter. Prisoner to painter. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner to painter.
And now, a word from your local Pope dealer.
You're talking to people, so
It explodes.
it explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We're just waiting on Facebook, and we are live.
Awesome. Welcome to the Prisoner to Painter podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott,
And I'm Katie McDermott.
and today joining us, Darrel Stinson. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having the courage. I start off right out of the gate always saying it takes a lot of courage to come on and tell your story. Not just this podcast, but any podcast. It takes a lot of courage to come tell a story. So thank you seriously for that. Normally here we just start right at the beginning and we work our way to where you are now. I haven't found a good grace period of how to work into it. So normally we just ask first is how would you describe your family dynamic in childhood?
Man, I had a pretty good family, loving family. I tell you that. Didn't have much money or anything like that, but I come from a family of 6, 4 sisters, 1 brother, and one thing that we were taught was love. And I teach that with my family I have now. I got 3 kids, and we're a loving family.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
How old am I?
Yes, sir.
54.
54. Okay. Well, you look damn good.
Okay.
And one question that and sometimes I catch some flack for it, but I ask every guest of color, and I don't know how else to word it, so I just always ask is, did you feel systemic racism or racism at all growing up?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
I asked that to our Black guests. I guess I asked that on purpose because I feel like the world in a whole thinks that was like hundreds of years ago, and it wasn't. It's still transparent in today's society. So sorry if I asked that too bluntly, but I just feel like it's something I got to ask. So
Yeah, it's definitely something that as a Black person, Black male, you got to be aware of. And I mean, and then from the neighborhood I grew up in, for me to be pulling up the street and have a police pull up behind me, I thinking I'm about to get stopped, even though I know I wasn't doing anything wrong. I never sold drugs or committed crimes and stuff, but I always felt like if they see me, they're gonna stop me. And it's happened before. And they gave me a hard time. And they're like, "Where do you live?" It's like, "Right here." And they're like, "What are you doing here?" It's like, "I just got off work and I'm pulling into my driveway to go home." They go, and they just was asking me, drilling me questions. I was like, "There a reason I was stopped?" And they go, "Well, you put a description of what?" And it was a Black guy driving the car. I'm like, yeah. That's what happened in my neighborhood. Black guys gonna be driving the car up the street.
Right.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I wouldn't say I catch flack for it, but I have asked every Black guest. Maybe that's not a good trend, but I feel like I need to show something, like by asking that, because I hear, racism is not real or it's not around anymore. From my group of, not my group of, but you know what I'm saying. And I don't think people understand that wasn't hundreds of years ago. That was 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
It started 100 or 400 years ago, but it's still certain aspects of it that still come to play the thing for sure.
The civil rights movement was only in the 60s, so and that really wasn't. I mean, that's my mom was born in 62, so that really wasn't that long ago. It's very prevalent and important to talk about because you have to talk about it.
Well, and Morgan Freeman once said to end racism, you just don't talk about it, and that's probably the one thing that he said that I disagree with. So so that's why I bring it up. So backing off of that, growing up in a household of 6 full of love, what did mom and dad do for work?
My dad wasn't there.
Okay.
They got divorced early when I was somewhere around 4 or 5.
Gotcha.
And we moved to Jackson at that time. So my dad was never really. My mom did the best she could, and she either had 1 job or 2 jobs, but she did what she could to make ends meet and to provide for 6 of us kids in our home. She definitely taught us love and stuff. And I remember getting into an argument with my sisters. And my mom came home and I was like, "This is what happened." She's like, "What happened?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I went to hit her, and then she's like, "You try to hit your sisters?" She's like, "Is that what what's your role? And I said, to protect my sister. She said, not him. And I felt so bad for getting to fight my sister, even though I didn't think I was at fault.
Yeah.
But even with that, she said, hey, let's not fight amongst each other, not in this house. And we, practice love. And I do that with my kids nowadays. Yeah.
Man, that seems like it's, and I never compare, only relate, but it seems like a lot of these stories that come on from, single parent or single mom households or whatever, you guys end up being the most successful people. It's like, it's
a trend.
Yeah. You didn't need money to become something. You just needed love. That's cool to realize.
Would you say it was like the equivalent to like how they have gentle parenting now?
I don't think so. Yes, because you take that violence and that anger and like what's happening. I mean, when she said, so what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And it just calmed down. We was able to tell the story and without the violence and without the temperatures being up. And yeah, like I say, and that's one thing I learned from my mom is just like take a deep breath and let's talk through this and not fight through this.
Did you go to Jackson Public?
Yeah, I went to Jackson Public.
Awesome. How was school in a whole, man? To me, it just, we got out of school, 10 years ago, and it was like, we still did Pledge of Allegiance 12 years ago. And how was school back in the, what? I don't want to say it.
I graduated in 89, yeah.
Okay.
And I loved school.
Okay.
It was a great place to go socialize.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very diverse school. I mean, we had white, black, you name it, Mexican.
Awesome.
And I did sports,
mm-hmm.
and that kind of made me popular.
Mm-hmm.
And there was white people that loved me for sports or being a good person.
Yeah.
I try to be white, black, Mexican, and I got friends of all races and nationalities. And that diversity in the high school is what provided that.
Awesome. Do you think? Just trying to think back in '89, was that a huge thing? Black and white school. Like segregate or
Like blended.
Yeah. Because we're not old enough. Was most schools black and white at that point, or?
Well, I'll tell you, elementary
mm-hmm.
and school close to me was mostly black.
Understand.
And low economic and poor people.
Okay.
So I wasn't really around too many white kids or other races at that time. Middle school was more blended, and I was not used to it, but I was seeing it. And then by the time I got to high school, it was the norm to see a white person, Mexican person, Chinese person walking down the hallway and to actually be friends with them and communicate with them. Have them in the same class, sit next to you, and yeah.
I'm just trying to understand. I know I'll never understand your perspective, but I will try to educate myself the best I can.
Mm-hmm.
Like always, ignorance comes from lack of education. So I will. You can call me a lot of things, but never ignorant. So you can call me a lot of things. But man, what did you play football or wrestling? I mean, you're kind of jacked.
Yeah, I played football.
Okay.
I ran track,
Okay.
And I played basketball.
Right on.
Yeah.
So what one was your favorite?
All of them. To stand side by side with somebody and say, let's race. I mean, we did that on the street growing up. We raced street light to street light, line up and go. And that was fun. And then we took that to the track and it was great. I was pretty decent at track and it was fun to, there was some individual races. So that's, I'm competing with the people next to me. But then there were some relays where you counted on the other person to hang your baton and you do your role in that. And that was, I love team sports. So basketball, the same thing. We 5 of us on the court and to pass to someone, let them score, to receive a pass for someone. Mm-hmm. That was great. And then football, we got 11.
Yeah.
And we all counted each other. And I love that team. I don't know if it's just coming from a big family where we all count on each other, depend on each other, mm-hmm. but it carried over to sports too. So I can't really say I had a favorite because you score a touchdown, mm-hmm. football, that's great. You win a race and track, that's great. And so score some baskets or a certain amount of points in basketball. I mean, I just love all the sports.
Awesome. What was your favorite cereal growing up?
Man, I would say just cornflakes. With frosted cornflakes. We was poor, so a lot of times we had just a bulk cereal that I don't know if they even had names. But every now and then, Frosted Flakes, we'd get a real box of Frosted Flakes with Kellogg's on it and name brand, and yeah, that was my favorite.
Heck yeah, man. I feel like it speaks to somebody's childhood. I've asked every guest now. That's become a reoccurring question. I feel like you can tell a lot from somebody's upbringing from cereal. I know that's crazy, but I grew up middle class. Let's say mine was Fruity Pebbles.
Okay.
There's been on some people's think it was like Cheerios and we added sugar.
I grew up with my grandparents. Mine's Frosted Mini Wheats.
Yep. Who was the most influential person in your life growing up?
I would have to say my brother.
Okay.
My brother.
Awesome. Do you look up to him pretty well?
Yeah. I always looked up to him. I always wanted to hang out with him, and there were many times where I'm trying to follow behind him, and he would turn me away. He's 5 years older than me, so when we was playing basketball, of course they was older and they jumping higher, running faster, so I couldn't get on the court. Then I finally started getting older enough and good enough to play with him, and so there's times where we got to play, on the same team and at the same time. There were certain things. My brother didn't live a perfect life, none of us do, but there were certain times where, because of him and what he did, he was like, "Don't do this," and guided me away from some of the same troubles he was getting into.
Awesome.
He was actually guiding me away from doing some of those same things and being some of the bad habits he had. So he was, it was great looking up to him, and he definitely influenced me to take a different path than he took.
Awesome. If I'm ever going too quick and there's something that I missed, feel free to slow me down.
Okay.
I never want you to feel rushed by any means. I just want to reiterate that. I just know a lot of your story in the future is what we want to talk about. So, but if there's something from childhood you directly want to speak about, feel free to cut me off. So, did you go to college after high school?
I did.
Awesome. What college did you go?
I ended up going to Central Michigan University.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Mount Pleasant?
Mount Pleasant.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. It was a great school. It was a great school.
Cool.
What was your minor, major? Did you just go for
My major was interior design.
Okay.
And being a football player, and some people think I have this tough guy look, and even at work, I worked at boot camp where when they find out I was interior design, they're like, "Really?" Yeah. And I had a minor in graphic design and visual communication.
Okay.
Two things. AJ Wyckoff said that you are a great guy.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We got to interview him, and that was a cool story.
Great guy.
Yes.
Great guy. Him and his brother.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
brother too, yeah.
You say you work at a boot camp.
A boot camp.
What's that about?
It's SAI, Special Alternative Incarceration.
Okay.
It was a prison boot camp for first-time felons.
Okay.
So it wasn't any major crimes or infractions, but they was there for 90 days, and it was ran just like the military.
Okay.
And we go there and just get these guys in excellent shape, both physically and mentally. And we had the physical part, but then we had the mental part where we trained them on all kinds of evidence-based behavior classes.
Okay.
From domestic violence issues that they had, substance abuse issues that they had, anger management, you name it. Relationships classes we had to help them build better relationships.
My uncle did that. I don't know if it's the same place. Do you have Dan?
Walling?
Dan Walling?
Down Walling, of course. Yep.
Yeah, he's
My
my uncle.
uncle.
He's my captain out there. Real good
No
guy.
kidding.
Yeah.
Small world. Yep. He's such a good guy. Wow, that's fucking cool. That's really cool.
It
Man.
sounded familiar.
Yeah. Real quick. So you're working for a boot camp while you're going to college?
No.
No. Okay.
After I graduated college.
Okay.
Yep. I've spent probably a year and a half. I worked at Art Van Furniture back in the day. While I was at Art Van Furniture, someone from corrections approached me and said, "We think you'll be a great candidate for work for state."
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they talked me into just going to get in the interview, setting up for that. And I got the interview. Then they called me at work because, I work sales, so it was long hours. So I'm at work. They called me. It's like, "Hey, we want to hire you for a job." And I'm like, "I'm at work." They said, "Well, work for the state is great. We got great benefits, blah, blah, blah. What do you want to do?" Because this opportunity may not come again. I was like, all right, sign me up.
Yeah.
And then so I started with First State and worked there for 25 years.
Okay. So before we get into all those questions, because I'm interested in this, I'm from the other side. I had the opportunity to take boot camp, but I got lucky and I got recovery court. So,
Okay.
so judging from the other side, I'm very interested in this. A, for my own knowledge, but B, to kind of spread some knowledge here. So you go to college and you're working in art band while you go to college. You get a job working for the state. So just you didn't use your degree, or did you end up?
No, I went to that boot camp, and I was a football player, thinking I'm in great shape.
Yeah.
I go to this boot camp, and first thing they do when we get there, you come there in PT gear. So you come to work to exercise.
Okay.
You get to give orders, and you're in charge. And so, like, I'm like, I love this. And then when I really started getting into it, and I started doing some of the programming part, where I'm actually saying, okay, you made some mistakes, like, but you're only doing 90 days.
Yeah.
You're going back into the same environment.
Yep.
You're going back to your house, neighborhood, friends, family.
Yep.
Now we can get you to change your mind, think differently. You'll be in that same environment, but you'll get different results because of the way you think.
Yes, sir.
And when I was able to start changing people's lives that way, I was like, I'm not leaving here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How old were you when you started at the boot camp?
25.
25. Okay, so high school to college. You how long were you in college for?
For 4 years.
4 years.
5
Okay.
years.
Okay.
5 years.
Awesome.
5 years.
Okay. I'm sorry if I asked some of the minute small questions, but I really try to learn the story in chronological.
He likes having a timeline in his head.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Well, and I think it shows the audience like I care.
The progression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and I really care, man. So like,
Okay.
let's say the camera's not here, I would ask you the same way because I'm nosy. Can you call me nosy? But I just like knowing. So
Informative.
yeah,
Mhm.
yep. So 25 to go work for this boot camp, man. That's A, that's awesome. B, like I said, being on the other side of things, and now that I've gotten better, and like the cop that arrested me come on this show, like I'm back in the community the right way. Somebody who does policy change out in Washington, Jeremy Tripp, he's come on the show, so I'm
Okay.
very interested in. I'll say the right side of the law, but because it is right, because what I used to do is wrong. So I'm very interested in this. So how would you say your first week or two there was, man? I mean, I know just like any job, probably a little nervous and scary, but to be in charge of kids that could ultimately change their whole life, how was the first week or two?
Well, I went on a tour. I saw what it was like. I knew some people that already worked there.
Okay.
That's who invited me to come on a tour. I think you would like this.
Yeah.
So to go back a step,
Yeah.
when I hired in with the state,
Yes, sir.
I worked in Iona, a
Okay.
real prison.
Oh, wow.
And those first couple of 2 weeks, you like prisoners around me. These people have actually stabbed, killed, tried to murder people. So it was a bit of a culture shock because I've been around athletes and people, not prisoners and killers.
Yeah.
So it's not like I was afraid because we go through training and stuff. Not like I was afraid, but it was definitely looking over my shoulders to make sure I'm in a safe environment, make sure I'm never set alone, and the rules and that they tell you to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. I did my time there, but before I even reached a year, I got waived, and I was already being recruited for boot camp.
Awesome.
So then when I went to boot camp, there was no turning back.
Gotcha. One question, and I think I go in chronological order, but then stuff goes in my head. I'm going to ask something that's probably not in order. Prisoners will stab a guard just for whatever reason. Why do you think that is? Because I've always been curious of that. Like, oh, well, it won't hurt my sentence anymore. Well, why do you want to hurt somebody to begin with? Like, I just never understood that.
I can't really speak on that because it would be different why this prisoner stabbed that person for what reason.
Okay.
And, I really couldn't answer that.
Gotcha. I just hear the excuse, oh, well, it won't add up to more to my time. I'm in here for life, for this or that. It's like, well, why do you want to hurt a guard for no reason, though? Like, I get it. You have nothing else worse that could happen to you, but why do you want to do it to begin with? I could never wrap my mind around.
Was there any habits that you picked up from working with the Department of Corrections and the state that you didn't have beforehand?
Oh, definitely. Sitting with your back towards the door. It's one of those things you go in a restaurant or in a place of anywhere and you don't want to have your back towards the door where you can't see who's coming in and what's going on.
Gotcha.
That's one. From the boot camp, there's a lot of disciplinary things that I've learned from making my bed. When I make my bed, I can't not put a 45 on it. I fold my socks the same way I used to train them. I fold my shirts very similar to the way I used to train them at the boot camp. And then I try to carry myself professionally. Like, not just the boot camp, but they want you, if you was out in public, they're like, you still representing the state.
Yeah.
So you should act a certain way, in a professional way. And I've done that. And then the whole, I would say, caring for other people part of it. I mean, I was at a restaurant celebrating my kid's birthday, but based off the way I carry myself and they knew where I worked, there was a situation happen and they came to ask me to help out as a person. And I go over there and they was shaking and convulsion, and I was like, they have anesthesia. And then went through the steps. Let's get them out of that chair first off, clear the area. And then we just went through all the stuff I got trained in the Department of Corrections doing a critical incident. And I'm like, wow. And so I was, there. It was just amazing that they came and got me. To take my training, it was just like everyday routine.
So one question that I don't think a lot of people in power think of, I have Chief Pittman this, I have Officer Jacobson this, I'm also going to ask you this. I told Chief Pittman, man, I remember you, you saved my life. He remembered me, but I'm, one of 100 people, let's say. So you probably impacted over 500 kids' lives. How do you cognitively think in your head, like you could have saved 500 people's lives? Like, does it even cross your mind that those guys might still think about you? Or is that just in the back of your head?
Well, due to the time I'm working, I'm doing my job.
Yep.
Part of my job is to get them in shape. So a lot of them got in the best shape of their life.
Yep.
I mean, we PT 5 days a week. Then we did the training. We had to go get trained in order to train these guys.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm saying this is part of my job. I want to do a good job. So I really focused on what this training was and really got involved and changed a lot of people's lives just through doing my job.
Yeah.
Now, after they get up and they've done their time, because a lot of times it's like, hey, I would like to, keep in touch with you. I would like to contact you. You can't. I work for the Department of Corrections. If you own papers, you cannot get in touch with me. But there's guys that after the year of probation parole or 18 months of probation parole, they would reach out and say, here's what I'm doing. I'm a manager at this place. I'm doing this. Remember, you told me to set goals. I still set goals and do this. And there's so many people that have reached back out to me and with their success and give me a shout out for having a part in that. That is something that makes me feel good.
It's probably better than the paycheck. It sounds like that would be better than the paycheck.
The paycheck's nice, but that reward of helping somebody long term like that, to where
that's awesome to me, because changing a kid's trajectory helps a lot more than working in a prison, in my opinion. That's awesome. That's very awesome.
But you said one of the things that you kind of picked up on was like making sure you can see the exits, not having your back to like people in the door. Would you say that that's like a result of training or like a hypervigilance from working in prisons?
Oh, definitely from training and being in a prison setting.
Okay.
I mean, you got killers around you. You definitely want to have your head on the swivel.
It just kind of reminds me of like trauma response, fight or flight. Like I do the same thing. Like I don't like sitting where I can't see how to get out.
Right.
So I was just curious.
Yeah, and then if you're in an environment where someone is considered a threat or dangerous, you want to make sure you know where the door is, so you have a means of egress and to get away if something was to happen.
Right.
So you said you worked in Ionia, or you're for a year, right?
Yep.
And then you moved to
Chelsea, Michigan.
Chelsea.
That's where the boot camp was.
Okay, and then you worked for the boot camp the whole 25 years, or did you move somewhere else?
Well, 24.
24.
First year.
Yeah. Okay, so the whole 24 years you were working for the boot camp. What's the most successful story you remember? Like I know you can't say the guy's name, but is there a most successful story that you remember?
Multiple. Because I'm gonna say one more. Like one wanted to be an artist, and I also do art myself. So I gave him guidance on that, and now he's an artist. And not too long ago, he sent me something of him doing a mural on a building, like they do downtown. Yeah, on a building.
Wow.
There's one that wanted to pursue poetry.
Okay.
And now he got his own little line of poetry, and he sits there and type out poetry.
Awesome.
As people walk by, he's like, "Hey, you two seem like you're in love. What's your story?" I would like to write a poem about it. They tell him the story, then he writes a poem right there on the spot on typewriter.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he brought his poem to me when he was at the prison,
Mhm.
and he said, "Critique these for me." And I'm like, "You want the truth or the whole truth?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Tell me the whole truth." I was like, "Well, the whole truth is they're kind of boring. It's kind of like rose are red, white is blue."
Mhm.
That's how I read it. You have no shock, you have no metaphor,
Mhm.
no similes, and
Yeah.
I was like, he's like, "What are those?" Like, look those up,
Mhm.
and then it make you have more of a shock when
Yeah.
people reading it. And he did it, and now he's out, and he ended up writing a letter to me saying, "I'm on stages that I've never been on before, and it was because of your guidance." And so that one more successful than no.
Yeah.
So, and I could keep telling you more and more stories, but it's a lot of success stories that people have come back
Mhm.
after they gotten their life together and they say thanks.
So I asked this of prison guards or people that's been in the prison that come on here. Or cops. I've never been able to ask. So you work with juveniles, or you worked with juveniles. Was there ever a kid you met that was truly evil? That you met him and you knew that whatever you were doing wasn't going to help?
I can't say that.
That's good.
Most of the ones that came through there, they just had minor crimes.
Yeah.
And so there was no true evil.
Understood.
Just stupid stuff.
Mhm.
Shoplifting, writing bad checks, broke into grandma's garage.
Mhm.
I mean, just stupid stuff. So no real evil there. And
Gotcha.
then they was getting, instead of going to prison,
Mhm.
3 years or more,
Yep.
they was getting 3 months.
Yeah.
So they was like, whatever it takes, I'm only gonna do 3 months. They come there for 3 months, get in good shape, get educated on whatever problems they have in their life. Like I said, from domestic violence to anger management, we help them with those skills. They just end up being a lot better person. So, yeah.
So this is my book of random questions. I like to flip through it and kind of like get some good questions. So, what's the importance of willpower and what do you use it for?
Willpower to me is kind of like along the same line as self-discipline. And I use self-discipline when motivation runs out.
Okay. Right. Fuck, you can't get better than that.
Yeah.
How? Can you like explain how
So I'm motivated to lose weight.
Right.
And I go to the gym, I'm all excited, and I go hard, and I go next week, then motivation starts to run out. And then that's when I go, I'm still trying to lose weight. When I look at that scale, I am not at the weight I want to be at. And that's what self-discipline is like. It's Monday. You're going to the gym. Okay.
Darrel A. Stinson Jr. I actually knew Darrel, and he's a person of integrity. He lives a life which he speaks. I'm proud of the man he's become. I'm going to guess that's your older brother?
That's my older brother's son.
Older brother's son. Okay, so
Yeah.
your nephew. So your
My
nephew, right? So clearly, well, I'm glad you said that. So clearly your whole life isn't just a juvenile. That to me is what's interesting, but I need, well, of course, because that's what, I like to hear about. Like I watch SVU, but that's not your whole story. You have kids. How do the kids, and clearly you had a woman, so how do they fit into the story?
I'm not following you. What do you mean? How do you fit in the story?
How did you meet the mother of your children?
Yep.
Well, okay. 2 different stories. One, my oldest child is from my high school love.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we boyfriend, girlfriend in high school.
Gotcha.
And then being young, and then we ended up having a kid together. Love that son.
Yeah.
Picked him up and hung out with him all day yesterday and today. I ended up working at the boot camp. And on my way to work to the boot camp, crossed paths with my ex-wife.
Okay.
The one who I had my 2 youngest kids with.
Okay.
And so on the way to work, that's how I met her. She was a little bit younger.
Gotcha.
Didn't have kids. Wanted to say, let's get married and have kids. So I was like, huh. So I started all over and we got married and had kids.
Awesome.
And I just love all my kids.
Gotcha.
I mean, they bring me joy in so many different ways. And they all make me proud.
Perfect. sometimes I just ask we get going down a certain trail and I'm like, man, there's other parts of this story. So sometimes I have to rope myself in, like, not just about you working with other kids. You have kids. So it's like, duh, tell me you get it together.
So were you a father in college? Or was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was parenting and going to school
And sports, yeah.
Right.
In college, yeah.
So we made it work. We would get together, take classes based off our schedule. So if I had most of my classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, she had enough start classes Tuesday, Thursday, and then we had a babysitter at certain points because with sports I still had meetings and practice and games. But when I could fit it in my schedule, then she would drop my son off to me or I go pick him up. There was times where I had to go to her house, let her go, and then I take him to my apartment, whatever.
Gotcha.
And we made it work. And after I think a year and a half, we ended up growing apart, but we still managed to co-parent that child. Same thing right now. I'm divorced now, but we are still doing a great job communicating and co-parenting my younger kids.
what would you say the most important piece of co-parenting is? And do you have any advice on people who may struggle with it?
The best advice I think is just communicating. And even though our relationship ended, my marriage ended, it's all about the kids at this point. And for us to try to show them love, no matter which house they're coming from, and for us to communicate so we're on the same page and raising them, under like pretty much the same guidelines and rules. And what time you say you want them going to bed? Well, at my house, they gotta go to bed that same too.
That's admirable. That's admirable.
Yes.
If there was nothing else about that story, that's successful. If there's nothing else we talked about, that I feel like I feel like that is not a talent a lot of people have in this world. And I'm not even trying to talk bad, but I see a lot of
Contention.
contention
There's a lot
and
of
fighting,
contention.
and you had a kid. It's not the kid's fault that now you guys hate each other. So, and I'm not saying that's you. I'm saying like there's people that's like you hate each other, but your kid shouldn't suffer. Like you guys made that decision, and now your kid suffers. And I don't like that.
And I've seen that just growing up and over the years, and from family to friends, where when that relationship don't work out, either the mom is bashing the dad and kicks him out, or the dad don't want to be around her so much that he's not around his kids either. And with my relationships that didn't work out, I'm staying in my kids' life. And I'll let them be raised when I have them under my house, under my rules, with my love, with my caring, and they'll be able to judge for themselves. So mom or the ex-girlfriend can't tell them whether good or bad. They got their own judgment. because I'm actually in their life.
And I think one sentence you said sums up how co-parenting should be. What time do they go to bed at your house? That's the time we're going to go to bed. To me, that sums it all up. Like that is it can be that easy. I think we can learn a lot from you, man. That's awesome. So 24 years in MDOC. I feel like there's not. I feel like I've asked a bunch about it, but what was your normal shift? 12 hours?
No. Normal shift was 8 hours, but being in a prison setting, and there's a time where you could get mandated to where you got to do another 8.
Gotcha. So the next part of your story is, I know you're excited to talk about, as I'm excited to hear about. But I don't want to move too fast. So I'm going to ask one more question, I guess. What did an average day look like for you working in the boot camp, like from start to finish? Roughly.
Let's go. First shift, different schedule. Second shift. First shift, go there, revelate, which means you wake them up. So we wake them up, get them prepped for their day. It's high intensity from the time. We making noises, banking garbage can.
I was just going to ask, is it like
To have a tear garbage can rolling down the hallway was pretty much routine. Wake them up. They start off with brushing their teeth, shaving, and everything's done under a certain time. And then we got breakfast coming up, boy. Now you got to clean up. When you clean up, everything's spotless before you leave. Then you go and you march on the child. It's all structured and by the clock. Gotcha. Then second shift comes in, come in PT gear. You go to the hard stand, which is the big platform where they all lined up. First shift leaves, second shift come on. we in PT gear, and we just start off with exercise. First exercise to be 2 count push-ups. Then they go, hoorah! And it's just loud and it's just exciting, it's fun. And then after you get them there with PT, you go shower, clean them up, down to dinner. After dinner, restroom breaks, clean up, and then out to school so you can learn how to get your mind right.
Awesome, man. To me, that seems like every damn jail should be like that. I mean, I think that fixes a lot of our problems.
It saved a lot of trouble because we on a time limit. It ain't time to really think and fight and disagree. Everybody's moving fast. All right, line up. Let's go.
Well, it keeps you healthy, keeps your mind focused. That's a good idea.
Routine
and structure.
Routine and structure, definitely.
I interject one more time. Deanna K. Morgan said that she loves it. Dina, Jesus. She's coming on the 14th.
Okay.
I need to remember her name apparently before the 13th.
What is the closest thing that you have to a superpower?
That's good.
I have to say my patience. My patience helped me with a lot of things and understanding people. And right now I do life coaching. Not in my retirement, I picked up life coaching, and to have the patience to listen to someone without thinking of what you want to say or interrupting them. Because now, hey, what you say? Now I got something to say. That to sit there and listen with patience. Having my younger kids, and then in relationships, the patience and to understand and try to see their point of view and where they're coming from. I mean, I think that's one of my superpowers.
That is a damn superpower. That's you just said something, man. AA taught me that out of all places. I'm listening to somebody talk. I need to hear their message, not think about what I'm going to say. AA taught me that, man. Like instead of sitting there, I want to talk about this next. Just listen. Like that taught me a lot. Go ahead. Sorry.
So 2 questions.
Oh.
Have you done anything with your interior design at all?
No.
Okay. That's then my second question is kind of moot.
No.
But preference-wise, would you stick to more conventional fashions or original concepts?
I like being original.
Okay.
Everything I do, I'm thinking it's original. I'm an original version of myself. My art, I do art, and then with my life coaching, it's all about transparency and being you and the original you, and don't pretend you're something that you're not.
How old did you say you were again?
54.
You're freaking retired, man. Shoot. I want to be retired by 54. That's awesome. When did you retire?
When I was 51 in 2022.
Okay. Congrats, man.
Yeah, my birthday's in April. I had to wait for my birthday because I already had my 25 years in.
Gotcha.
So I had to wait till my birthday, and then after 25 years, hit my 51st birthday, and I was able to go.
Dude, that's success in itself, too.
Are you Taurus?
I'm a Taurus.
Okay. Did not get that vibe.
No.
No, definitely not. Like the bull's horn, kind of like it makes sense, like the whole boot camp thing, but like you're very relaxed and calm and
Oh, well, thank you.
maybe more like leadership qualities than like the bull like aggressiveness.
Yeah.
So more like a controlled.
You seem stern but inviting.
Right.
Like you seem like very stern, but in the same breath, I'm not afraid to talk to you. There are some people that I'm like, I'm afraid to talk to them.
In my experience, it's like waving the red and you get the horns, and it's
Right. And I try to fight that as much as I can. And so being a life coach, personal trainer, with my art, I want to have that fighting feeling to come work with me. I got your back. I'm gonna be supportive. And when you got something to say, I'm gonna take time to listen.
Are you a cusper? When's your birthday? Is it
April 20th.
okay? So you are a cusper.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes more sense.
So hopefully I got a little bit of the best of both. Yeah.
So retired at 51. Did art take off at 51, or were you doing art your whole life?
So that's what made me do the interior design. When I went to college, the way you like do it was like I like drawing. So I used to draw superheroes, comic book characters all the time. Snoopy, butterflies, you name it. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. He always had a crooked mask, but I drew him quite a few times, and so I like that.
Awesome.
Then when I went to college, they was like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "Drawing." So wasn't smart enough to be an architecture. Then there was the art, but then it's like you probably do better taking your art ability and being an architecture. We make more money than the average artist, but not quite as much as the architect. So I'm like, roll it. We do that. And that's what I did.
Okay. Awesome, man. I'm just trying to I'm trying to get into like what you do now, but I don't know how to make a clean cut of this. So, how was the last year working at the boot camp? Did you know you were going to retire? I know you've been there 24 years, so it had to be a different feeling. Like was it repetitive having to say it? Like, I know there's going to be the same group of kids. Like was it like I guess almost annoying, or were you excited to still be helping people after 24 years?
I was excited all the way to the end. And the thing was, I was planning for retirement. So I knew I was going to retire before I did.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I really took that self-development and those behavior-based classes to heart. So even though I did the training to train them, I did other training to train myself.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to be a better person today than I was yesterday.
Awesome.
So I started doing this training, and that's just who I am now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so I stayed excited to the end. I planned it. One of the books I read is like, if you're planning on retirement, you should have a plan, or you're planning to fail.
Fair enough.
So I was like, as I continued reading, it was like, you should find something that you love to do, and then do that until retirement. And if you're lucky or if you're smart about it, that thing that you love to do, find a way to get paid doing it.
Yes, sir. What's the best piece of advice you ever heard in your life?
The piece of advice I would say would be to set a goal and see it through to the end. Because a lot of people set goals and a large percent fail. They stop, they quit, things get tough, they back away, and they don't see it through to the end.
What's the worst piece of advice you have ever received?
Oh, I can't even answer that. I've got quite a few people in my life, or that's been in my life, that give me some really bad advice.
Now, was it like you instantly knew it was bad advice, or like you followed the advice and then found out that it was really bad advice?
No, just received their advice. I was taught if someone has something to say, listen to them, and if it's worth following or paying attention to, do it. And if it's not, at least you heard them out and you don't follow that advice. So if it was bad advice, I don't follow, but I let them speak their piece.
How did you discern them? Like, how did you discern between if it was worth following or not?
Basically, the whole growing up, knowing right from wrong. And if so, you told me, hey, do this. I'm like, I know right from wrong. That's not something that is right. That's not something that I want to do. That's something that's going to help me go to where I'm trying to go.
Right.
Was church ever a part of your life?
100%.
Awesome. Like I talked about a little bit before, we are nonpartisan, so we keep out a lot of it. So I don't know how to open up the door sometimes. Awesome. What type of church did you go to, if you don't mind my asking?
Baptist church.
Beautiful. Okay.
So since youth, we went to Sunday school. We went to church pretty much every Sunday. It's rare that we would miss. And I was raised in the church. I live my life based off my beliefs in the church. Saying prayers every night. I live my life trying to, 10 commandments. How should I do this? And I try to live my life not doing those things. I try to live a good life, law-abiding citizen, and do the right thing even when nobody's watching.
Right. Morally and ethically, right?
Correct.
Something you just said stood out, and I don't know why, but it just rang God in my ears. That's why I had to ask. And that's Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior as well. I just have to, because like we talked about before, be nonpartisan, and like I want to be able to interview every type of person. Sometimes I have to back off my beliefs. Just when I'm interviewing. But now that it's not, Jesus is our King too. So that's once the door opens, I'm like, now I can talk about it. It kind of reminds me of court, how the other team has to like bring it up. So
yeah. Now that you brought that up.
I went to catechism, and I was born and raised Catholic, but we swayed away, and then we found our way back up.
Who is your biggest supporter?
Man, I got some great support. I got some friends that are just believe in me, believe in my life coach, and believe in things I do, I got my kids, from my oldest to my youngest, that look up to me, that when I'm around them, they got to look like, we believe you're going to lead us around the right way. I got family and friends that support me no matter what it is I'm doing.
How did you go about building such a supportive, like natural support system?
I'd say it's them from my upbringing and the way my mom raised us. And she had the same thing. I mean, our neighbors were like family to us, you know. And so my mom was a twin. My mom had 6 kids. My auntie had 6 kids. So really, at many times, there was 12 of us in the house and loving each other. And they are my cousins, but they kind of like my brothers and sisters.
Right.
And we still talk and chat till today.
Were they identical twins?
They were definitely identical.
Okay, I was curious.
They played the games of, my mom told me stories of things they did to trick people because they were identical.
Is there any other twins in your family? So, like the twins run in your family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my sister had a set of twins. I got a couple cousins had twins. Yeah.
But your genes are strong.
We got
I
quite a few.
really mixed up you and your kid. Like, which I know the kid's supposed to look like the dad, but
Oh.
I really mixed you two up. Like, your genes are heavy, man. Your genes are.
So are they all identical, or is there any fraternal?
All identical.
Cool. Times is cool. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So after retirement, you become more of an artist and more into life coaching. How does the transformation from retirement into life coaching look for you?
Well, it was easy because I had already started planning. So I was getting certified while I was still working
Okay.
as a personal trainer. I was getting certified as a life coach. Then I started watching the videos, Bob Ross, some more artists. I started watching YouTube videos, and I even bought, some series of artists and how they, put paint on canvas. And so I was already prepping for this before I retired.
Awesome.
Then when I retired, then I did the other thing. I used my graphic design skills. I built my own website, and then I designed business cards, and it was just a transition that was pretty smooth because I was already prepared for it.
Gotcha. You said personal trainer, and then in the same breath we said life coach.
Mhm.
What is the difference, and is there a difference?
Well, the personal training is the physical part.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We work out in the gym, or I write them up a fitness plan, and try to hold them accountable for that. With the life coaching, what I do is we talk. I do a lot of listening because most people who have problems in their life know what those problems are. They know how to solve them, but they just won't put a plan into action to solve them.
Mhm.
So we talk, and I was like, you tell me, and they tell me what their problem is and how you figure,
So it's like consulting.
It's like consulting, and it's all about them pretty much saying, I know I had this, let me break it out of them. And when I bring it out of them, then we start writing it down, we come up with an action plan, they start following them. It's kind of hard not to take 100 steps if you take one at a time.
Mhm.
And that's one of the best ways I get them to move forward. I say, we got 100 things to do, just give me one. Then after doing one, I said, just give me another.
Yeah.
And we just keep moving forward.
So, but the reason I asked that, so I guess I know that there's a difference. Do you have some clients that just want one, not the other? Or is it like no matter what, when you're a life coach, you are also a personal trainer?
The personal trainers, part of it, they just want personal training. They want to lose weight, get in shape. But a lot of people that take my life coaching know that I'm a personal trainer, and they're like, can I somehow fit the physical part in there too?
Okay.
That's part of the plan.
Mhm.
If you get you in shape, it helps you with your energy, helps you with your focus.
Mind.
It helps you feel better about yourself, your self-esteem. And so, a lot of my life coach, I'm like, we don't throw the fitness part in.
Awesome. Part of life coaching, you're just curious. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this, but a clean house to me makes my mind right.
Mhm.
Is that ever like a step? Is to clean your house or to clean something up?
Yep. I read that too.
Okay.
So I pick up a lot of stuff I read and I take it out. So yeah, and start just making your bed.
Yeah. Man, who's that Marine that said that? There's a huge
I know what you're talking about.
it's something about God. That's his whole speech. Is it pretty much no matter how terrible your day is when you go back to bed, it's made. So it is like the best victory of the day. Like as long as you start there, your day will end good no matter what because you're going to a made bed.
What is your preferred medium of art?
Oil. Oil. And the reason is I get started. I can sit back, take a look at it. I can set it to the side, come back tomorrow, and still be able to blend. And
It's still pliable.
Yeah.
Do you do pastels or paints? Like oil pastels or oil paints?
oil paint.
Now, clearly being an artist, do you do all sorts of art, or are you mainly a painter?
I do all sorts of
Awesome. I'm not the artistic person she is, so my question might be dumb, but
I got some that want to say pets paint. I got some that want portraits. I got some that want a beautiful landscape. I got some that just give me a bunch of colors and something abstract that's different. And so whatever they're asking for is what I'm putting together.
Do you ever incorporate art into your life coaching, like vision boards, things of that nature?
Not so much that, and I'm not a big fan of the vision board.
Really?
I always say the vision board is like one of the steps, because if you look at these pictures of your house you want, of that car you want, of whatever it is, that boat you want, it's just a picture. So you take that as a stepping stone, and then so now the way I do it, instead of a vision board, I say let's create an action board. So now I take this house that you want, how much does it cost? And where is it located? And how many rooms does it have? So now we get all these things that I need to get that house.
Yep. Smart
And so
goal.
now if I start saving money, because I know how much it costs, if I start planning and taking these steps, I'm gonna end up getting the house. But just looking at that picture,
It has to be measurable and attainable and realistic.
yeah, that's one thing that I like that Elon Musk says is why can't you take a 10-year goal and try to do it in 6? And which is, I know is unreasonable, but I do like his mindset on that, because it's like, yeah, instead of I'll have that in 5 years. Why don't we just try for in a month, and then just, if you don't get it, then try for the next month. Which I know sometimes that could be bad for some people's mindset, but I like that idea.
and with my life coaching, based off them, because I'm asking how do you want to be coached, and you want direct, you want this. Some say give me a time limit, because now I know I can look at that time, get moving. Then some say I just want to achieve it. So if it took me, some say maybe I can lose 50 pounds in 6 months. The other one say I just want to lose 50. Don't really put a time limit on it. But the way it works is that if you do what you're supposed to be doing, you put the time and effort, you're going to get the result.
Yep.
You don't really have to put the time limit.
Yep.
So if you work out 3 days a week and you're eating better and you're consistent, and when you go to the gym, you're working out hard.
Yep.
So eventually you're gonna lose some weight and get down to where you want to go.
Yep.
Yes,
sir.
2 questions, they kind of go together. What's one thing that you can do a little better every day?
I just think growing and learning, I can do that every day. And that's what I had mentioned earlier. I want to be better today than I was yesterday.
You want to keep moving forward. Have you ever hit rock bottom?
I've been on some lows. I wouldn't say I ever hit rock bottom. I'm not started at the bottom. we was poor. We was poor. I mean, I'm wearing this shirt 3 days out the week. I'm hand washing stuff. When my socks got a hole in them, I'm sewing up the sock, then I go wash it. And I'm, so I've been at the bottom where I had nothing. And, there's people making fun of me. Like, do you wear that shirt? And I'm like, be quiet. And so part of that, I had my mom like, can you just buy me white t-shirts? Can't tell if I wore this, but if I got a red shirt or a blue shirt, they like, you had that red shirt on just yesterday or 2 days ago. White t-shirt again. So I started off at the bottom and progressively just moved up slowly, and I never really went back down too far. But I've had some downtime, like going through a divorce. That was the downtime, but I mean, my kids still love me, my friends still respect me. Me and my ex-wife, we don't hate each other, And so I didn't go all the way back down the bottom. It just was a downtime until I started continuing doing what I'm doing with the life coaching and taking care of my kids and being in their life despite what was happening and showing love with them.
Well, life is like hills and troughs, right?
And
like
valleys
you
and up
crest
and
and all
downs,
that.
yeah.
So how did you said you had lows. So how did you go through those? Like, did you keep your mindset great? Was it something that you had prepared, like with training, working for the state for, so you like knew how to propel yourself through that? Or was it a struggle at first?
Well, it is a struggle, but I get through the struggles with something I call PMA, positive mental attitude. So nobody's gonna have the perfect life. Things don't happen. Life happens.
Yeah.
So when things does happen, take time, process it, And then I started dealing with how to make it better. Okay, so I got a divorce, but now I'm looking at my kids still love me. We don't hate each other. No, you know, we can still move forward. I still got my health. I still got my life coaching. I still got people that love me. And there's a tomorrow.
My aunt always said, "Don't make a permanent problem to a temporary." No, don't.
Yeah, temporary problem.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always stuck with me.
Mhm.
Always just stuck with me.
Would you consider yourself an optimist?
Oh, 100%. I'm always looking at the glass half full. I'm always trying to say, you know what? So, and I teach the children, like, your mindset is huge.
Mhm.
You can turn something bad to something good right away.
Yeah.
And then the opposite.
Yeah.
And you know, from the job, I hate my job, blah, blah, blah. You should quit. They're like, well, I can quit. Like, why not? Like, because the benefits, because paying my mortgage. I'm like, okay. See how easy that was?
Mhm.
And so I'm always teaching people to look at the positive. Oh, I got in an accident. That's like, and you hear tell me about it. Okay. Oh, did you have insurance? Well, at least you had insurance.
Yeah.
Did you get hurt? Did anybody get hurt? Nobody got hurt. I'm like, so let's look at the good.
We're good.
I find
Yeah.
it fascinating that a brain cannot fathom the good things until it's like right in the face or somebody else points it out.
Mhm.
Where it's like, I can't think of anything good about this. And then you talk to somebody about it and like, well, this sounds pretty good. And, you know, did you think about this? And then I just think it's fascinating. Like, while you're in it, you can't physically sometimes perceive it another way.
Correct.
And then it's like, once you start being able to do that, now it's kind of hard to perceive it the other way. They're like, why this is so terrible, all this.
And
But
that's one of the rewards with life coaching, because I constantly have them look at the positive and whatever it is that they are trying to do.
If there was anybody seeking your art or your life coaching, how would they get a hold of you? Do you have a website?
I got I got a website.
Would you mind telling us that? So
Yeah.
I'll put it in the
My
comments.
website is darrelstinson.com.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And my art is listed on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay, so Facebook /StinsonD _ art.
Thank you.
Hmm.
You're almost there. Oh yeah, pop right up. Darrel Stinson Coaching, you to success.
Mhm.
Awesome.
And then this one should pop up too.
Yep. Cool, man. I figured if anybody watches now or later, then they can figure out how to get a hold of you or
Appreciate it.
speak. Oh, of course,
Appreciate
man. No, we appreciate you coming on, having the courage to tell your story. I do give about a 10-minute warning, not to hurry you up, not to rush you, not for anything like that. In about 10 minutes, we're gonna ask for wrap-up questions, and then
Okay.
we'll be done. It's not just a me or a you thing. I feel like we lose attention of people after an hour. That's just unfortunately the way the world works. So, we might be calling it sooner.
Yep, you're good. Just keep on.
Sorry, our camera. It's just been a heck of a day, as you can tell with the IT. Our camera just cut out.
I know the day's going. I had a full day today from the time I woke up all the way to now. It's still going. You know?
Yeah. Well, man, I said that, and I think we will just ask our wrap-up questions. I'm sorry to cut it short. Our camera just died, so they can still hear us, but the camera just died, so I don't really know.
You're good. You're good.
Awesome. So thank you, thank you for coming on. I'm not trying to rush it by any means. So, but we ask all the same wrap-up questions every guest. We're trying to get an overlying or to see what answers like overlap.
Okay.
So, because you ask all these different people what their definition of success is, and I found
There's a common theme among people and what they think success is.
Okay.
And me as a scientist at heart, I like to see how many overlaps we get. And there's only actually been a few, but there's a whole theme that is very common. So
my normal wrap-up questions are about all the same. Is there anything that I didn't ask that I should have? Is there anything we missed?
No, it started with my childhood. Went into childhood, high school, college, then to the work environment, and then to my life coaching and personal training in art, which is where I am right now. So we covered.
What's your favorite art that you've ever painted? Like, what's your favorite piece that you made?
That's the hard one too, because it's based off the happiness that I share with other people. So I've done some where so many people have commented and loved it so much that that's now my favorite piece because it brought the gonna show it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. Huh. And then my other simple wrap-up question is, what is your definition of success?
That's a tricky question.
Yep.
But I think success basically is a mindset thing. Because you can reach a certain level of success, but if you don't feel successful, are you really successful?
Exactly.
Okay. But if I was to say, to me, what success is when you set a goal, you pursue that goal, you achieve that goal, and you fulfill your wishes.
Awesome. Perfect. That's my wrap-up question, Katie.
We had another one that we forgot. Are you happy with how you told your story?
Yes, I'm happy. I was transparent. Everything's the truth. This is how I live my life. This is how I live my days. I'm doing the things I love to do now, and I just don't have very many regrets in life. I mean, I made some mistakes, but if I were saying regrets, not so much.
That's a damn good feeling, I bet. Heck yes.
If younger you and older you met, would you get along and vice versa?
Yes.
Yes, both ways.
So the younger me be like, "Hey, you doing great. You a person I can look up to," and then the older version of me is like, "Man, you got a lot ahead of you. I can't wait to see how you're gonna turn out. You got a good head on your shoulder. You're a good person, and I'm happy to see the life you're trying to pursue."
That makes me so happy. That's cool, man.
If you, it has to be one word. If you had one word to describe where you started to where you are now to where you think you will end up, what would that one word be? And it has to be a real word.
Happy.
Okay.
Perfect. Will you pull them up real quick?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
have been slacking. So this week, I'm gonna make a joke, and I hope Justin sees this. I got you a $20 gift card.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
To Claybon's Pizzeria and Pub. The reason I laugh is 20 bucks might cover just you, but
I got it. So their values and goals are centered on creating authentic, handcrafted artisan pizza, fostering, a culture of loyalty and integrity, and providing a welcoming, community-focused atmosphere for their guests and their team. They aim to be a place where friends and family can feel at home while delivering quality and hospitality.
and as we all know, Claybon's is delicious, but they're damn expensive. But here's $20.
I appreciate it. And yes, Claybon is excellent. And I remember when they had their other location, I would drive all the way over there, and now they got the closer location. And I mean,
I will
they've
say
done it well.
where the original location was, there's a Mexican restaurant there now. That's
Right.
very good.
So after cutting off the boys and we're doing all that, would you mind signing our table?
Oh, okay, sure.
All right. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Yeah, I can't wait.